And then Barkley and Laimbeer. Barkley gets in the left. Laimbeer will come back with an uppercut.
NBA has always been a controversial sport, and a lot of it had to do with the players playing dirty. Some players keep the rules and regulations as their top priority, but for others, winning is everything. Let's get into the dirtiest plays in NBA history.
One-on-one here. Yeah, James doubling up the Clippers. Clean up on aisle three. Clean up on aisle three.
Number 8. James Harden and Wesley Johnson. In 2018, during the game between the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Clippers, something went hugely amiss. Do you know what it was? Respect. And that should be an integral part of a game. Houston Rockets guard James Harden and Los Angeles Clippers Wesley Johnson were struggling with the ball between them when Harden watched Johnson falling. The amazing thing was that he just stood there, leaving Johnson hanging at that moment. It was cruel, and then he contested the three-pointer that everyone knew was going to land in the net. Yes, he scored, but we think he also lost respect and dignity. And if that isn't valuable, then we don't know what is.
That was blocked by Kemp. Nice block shot by Kemp. His second. The ball to Payton. Payton lobs it underneath.
Number 7. Shawn Kemp dunking on Alton Lister. If Shawn Kemp has ever dunked on you, chances are that you'll never forget it. In the case of Alton Lister, that can be even truer as he was the one that suffered the consequences of that dunk. Shawn Kemp has been a significant part of the NBA for 14 seasons, and he made sure that his presence was known, felt, and acknowledged. If dunking were a standalone profession, Kemp would have been the founder of it. He is a 6-time All-NBA start player and a 3-time All-NBA second-team member. Quite a lot of his dunks are memorable, but the one we're talking about is against the Golden State Warriors during a playoff game in 1992. Not only was Alton Lister thrown to the floor while Kemp was attempting his infamous dunk, Kemp also acknowledged it by moving his finger in the direction towards Lister while he was still on the floor. There's nothing to conclude except that he played dirty, and it showed disrespect on his part.
Reggie Miller scoring 8 points in the final 32 seconds.
Number 6. Reggie Miller and 8 points in 9 seconds. Reggie Miller made history when he scored 8 points in 8.9 seconds and took his team to victory. But what and how and why? In 1995, during a huge playoff game between the Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks, all of this happened. His team, the Indiana Pacers, had to score in the last few seconds if they wanted victory, and Miller was to the rescue. He scored 8 points with 4 baskets, and then he glared at Knicks' Spike Lee while showing a two-handed choking sign. It was to signify that the Knicks were choking. It's pretty straightforward to call it dirty and disrespectful and nothing else.
Danny Green pursuing Duncan Robinson. Crowder can't answer. Butler.
Number 5. Dwight Howard against Miami Heat. Many NBA fans like Dwight Howard, while many share a sentiment that is the exact opposite. He's a good player and there's no doubt about that, but even then, he tends to get into trouble. One such recent example was in a game between the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. Miami was at the feet of facing elimination, but no one could put a stop to Jimmy Butler that day. He was on fire and in his absolute best form. He was able to record a triple-double, 27-10-9, in his first 3 quarters of the game. But Dwight Howard had to mess with him, and that could have even cost him ejection from the game. When Butler went for a rebound and contested the ball, Howard swung his arm to block, and that resulted in him hitting Butler on the side of his head. Anyone who had seen the game or the clip would be unified that it was uncalled for and extremely unnecessary. It would be safe to say that Dwight Howard took aggression to a whole next level, and that was disrespectful. He should be thanking his lucky stars that he only ended up with a flagrant 1 foul that kept him in the back. Why play so dirty, Howard?
Make him guard more than one option.
Single coverage in the...
Number 4. Rasheed Wallace with his never-broken record. Some players have records that every other player wants to break, while other players have a record that none would like to break. One such record is with Rasheed Wallace. Do you know what record he has? We've got you covered. During the 2000-2001 season, Rasheed Wallace had 41 technical fouls in one season. With the rules changed and altered in the NBA, a player has to strategically plan to break the record that goes with Rasheed Wallace. NBA changed the rules in 2006. Now a player with 16 technical fouls will get suspended for a game after the 16th foul with no pay. That'll be followed by a one-game suspension without pay per additional technical foul. He's probably the only player whose technical foul once included staring at the referee during a game. Official Ron Garretson warned him 3 times to stop staring and intimidating him. Despite these warnings, when Wallace paid no heed, the official called him out on a technical foul. It has been known as one of the most undeserved technical fouls in history, but it's common knowledge that Wallace did not like officials and they don't like him.
Scottie Pippen up for a beautiful backdoor pass for Pippen, and he is walloped, and that will be a flagrant foul.
Number 3. Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls in 1991. Dirty tricks and flagrant fouls have been a part of the NBA for quite some time, although sometimes it really crosses the line, like in this game between the Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls in 1991. It can be suggested that playing in playoffs for 5 straight seasons was having a toll on the Pistons, and that was pretty visible as well. The Bulls were cast off of the playoffs in the 3 previous seasons, and even that wasn't enough for the Pistons. Dennis Rodman first became an obstruction for Pippen at the last moment when he was scoring a basket. Even that did nothing to calm his rage as he continued with shoving Scottie Pippen into the stands. It was a pure dirty game at play and nothing else. Lack of sportsmanship makes people horrible players, and it was a testament to that.
He has it on the wing on top for Randy Brown. Back to Michael from 17. MJ drops it in.
Number 2. Kevin Garnett and Michael Jordan. Kevin Garnett is one player in NBA history that is known for his trash talk and inciting the other players to react badly. During all of his career, he would incite trash talk and would get away with being the most legendary player on the floor. However, his trash talk at the start of his career really backfired when Michael Jordan was at the receiving end. Do you know what happened? Well, we're here to tell you all of that and more. Keep watching. During a game against Jordan and his team, Garnett made the mistake of pointing out to Jordan that J.R. Ryder, Garnett's teammate, was outplaying Jordan. It did not sit well with Michael Jordan, and he reacted in typical MJ style, hands on his hips and legs locked. He stared at Garnett for a solid 15 seconds. If that wasn't enough, Jordan's team literally finished the game for the Wolves by 21 points. And to drive his point home, Michael Jordan sought out Garnett after the game and said, "Never talk shit to Mike ever again." Point well made, I guess. Garnett later on claimed that it was the most humbling experience of his life, and he definitely never trash-talked Michael Jordan ever again.
Sting, and 24-second clock goes down, and Bird and Laimbeer go at it.
Number 1. Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn. There are some players in the history of the NBA that are known for their pure evil and nasty game tactics. For some, it resulted in getting non-existent or zero fan support. The duo of Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn was hated by everyone except for the Detroit team. Makes sense as well. Once during a series, an Atlanta fan carried a dummy of Bill Laimbeer on the floor. No, it wasn't out of fandom. Do you want to know what happened? Well then, keep on watching. The fan then proceeded to cut the dummy in half with a chainsaw. Do you get the amount of hatred they received? And many will argue that they did everything to keep it coming. There have been several dramatic twists and turns in the NBA with these two and Larry Bird on the ground, and this one was no different except that you might like the outcome. Once, this intimidating duo tackled Larry Bird and stopped him from dunking the ball right in the post. Poor Bird got hammered by the pair of them, but he just walked away as that was foul play. His sweet revenge included scoring points with free hits. Not his fault, the duo had it coming. And this time, they could do nothing to stop him either. How's that for some sweet revenge? So, folks, that's all from our side. Which was the dirtiest play in your opinion? Are you in favor of fouls to win the game? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button so we can know and create similar content. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time!